should have made him a.
You have the power.
Jeremy has
Okay, looks like we are starting to get our attendees in. Eric, if you would like to check your email, I resent the Zoom link. It looks like you might be in the attendee, using the attendee link, and so you won't be able to speak when we get to your session. So if you can exit the Zoom call and then check your email and join from the link I provided, that might help us out a little bit. All right, we're letting a few people trickle in. Jeremy, I think you're going to have to share the slides since I gave you the host permissions.
Okay. Actually, I just tossed it back to you. How's that?
That's perfect.
You're on.
Okay. Hopefully a few more people. There should be a few more people joining, and then we'll get started. Okay, I think we are all ready. Thanks everybody for joining in. We are having our post-HECC Lunch and Learn recap. And we have quite a nice crew today to get started. We hope you are getting settled back in to your buildings after quite a few days out of the office, which is always fun and an adventure to hop back into the fire, so to speak. To kick off our session, of course, we have to thank our Platinum partners. You can check them all out here. Let us know if you have any questions about any of these partners. We'd be happy to put you in contact with anyone if you have a need. Our panel today, I'm Kathy Gopin. I'm from Evansville Christian School. I'm on the board of the Indiana CTO Council and have become one of the monthly hosts for the Lunch and Learn. I'm going to throw it off to everybody else to do a quick introduction as well.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Melissa Wally, and I am here as a member of the HECC board. I am an educational technology specialist for Hanover Community Schools in Cedar Lake, and I'm happy to be here.
Hello, everyone. I'm Scott Pratt, Assistant Director of Technology at Westfield Washington Schools in Westfield. I'm proud to share that I've got a good weekend full of sleep after the conference, and I'm fully energized and motivated all over again. Additionally, I will share that I do serve on the board for the Indiana CTO Council and the IDOE Cybersecurity Task Force.
Darlene, you're up.
Hi, everyone. I am Darlene Kennedy. I work at the Northern Indiana Educational Service Center as well as the Northwest Director of Technology Integration, and I also serve the Indiana CTO Council as your CETL ambassador.
And I think Jeremy is here, but he has hopped out because we're trying to navigate getting him the ability to chat with everyone maybe. So Jeremy Miller is going to be joining us. He's usually monitoring the chat for the Lunch and Learns, but definitely if you attended any of the sessions that we are discussing, please be sure that you chime into the chat, add your experiences and feedback as well. We want this to be as interactive as possible and allow us to just continue to network and share some of our learning. I cannot skip talking about our clinic. I know we passed out t-shirts at HECC this week, and a lot of people sported those on Thursday. So make sure you have your calendar marked. May 7th and 8th, we're going to have some outstanding keynote speakers. Of course, we're at the embassy instead of our old location. And so make sure you mark that as well. And I don't believe Eric has made it back. I'm going to allow, Eric, I can allow you to talk. So I'm giving you the power and I'm going to click your slides.
How about now?
All right, that's perfect.
Oh, thank goodness.
Go right ahead. I've got your slides pulled up for you.
Oh, fantastic. It's not in presentation mode, but I don't know if that's okay. So thank you for everybody for joining today. I just wanted to take just a moment to introduce ourselves. We're proud to be a partner and a sponsor with COSIN. Here we are at the HECC conference. Quick picture, that's myself in the middle. We're very happy to be there. It was a great conference for us. We had a great time. And what you'll notice here is that while we exhibited and the signage had initially said Juniper Networks, we're now HPE Networking. You'll also see that on the COSIN 2025 survey that we sponsored. You'll notice our logo in the lower right-hand corner. So we are one and the same. Aruba and Juniper are now product lines at HPE Networking. So we're glad to be a sponsor and enjoyed our time at HECC. Next slide. Just very quickly, who are we? This gives you a quick snapshot. We're HPE, Aruba, and Juniper Networks are the leaders in the wireless LAN and enterprise wired. So all your network needs covered in one package in one company. We're combining all of our strength to kind of deliver the focus of what is needed in K through 12. The next slide. And what we're best known for is really this idea of self-driving networks. I'm sure that you're all talking quite a bit around AI these days in classrooms. Google Classroom has added a number of AI features, as well as just in the administration. On the SIS side, a lot of products and LMS sides, they're adding a lot of AI features. Well, we too are adding a lot of these features. And just like the journey from early sensors in cars would turn on a red light when something was wrong, and now all the way we've come to the, kind of to the stage where cars are self-driving with Teslas. And we're doing the same thing with the network. We're slowly adding automations and intelligence in the back end that you don't have to be an expert, but essentially the network will be optimized and run itself. And finally, last slide. We have a number of K-12 school districts and customers. This is a huge space for us, and as we combine with Aruba, even more so. So we're a trusted company that works with schools. I'm a former K-12 CTO myself from San Francisco Unified School District. You know, my entire mission here in this company is to help make sure that what we're putting out aligns with the needs of our schools, and it ensures a very reliable, secure network so that all of the educators can do what they're doing, and that IT department isn't feeling buried by all of the demands of all of the additional technology showing up in the classroom. You can focus on more of the higher order thinking type of work, the high value work in the classroom, keeping all those devices running and operating, and really reduce the number of tickets that you're experiencing. So with that, my last slide would say, please reach out to us. We're happy to help you. My contact info is there, or Bree as well. We'd love to help you out there in Indiana and anywhere else in the surrounding area. Thanks very much and have a great webinar.
Thanks, Eric. So glad you were able to join us.
Thank you.
All right, so now to get into kind of the meat of our discussion and what we're here to process regarding the HECC conference. What we're looking at today is the framework of essential skills, which has been created by COSIN, which basically gives a framework for what should technology directors or what should CTOs be expecting to do in their role. And that framework actually is what the CETL certification, the Certified Education Technology Leader certification, is based on. And so processing this this conference with that framework in mind gives us a little bit of perspective of, if we are the tech leader in our organization, what should we be looking for? What should we be planning for? How do we need to look at all facets of our role, not just the techie side, if that's the background we know, but also the educational side, also what leadership and vision looks like. So if you're not familiar with that framework, this is an opportunity for you to check it out. It's not behind the membership paywall, so you can scan the code or click the link. They are getting ready to put out an updated version of the framework of essential skills that should be coming out soon. But for now, this is the current version to be updated soon. So just to give you an idea of what the sessions were and how they related back to the framework of essential skills, Scott put together a nice little graph to kind of show you what sessions match up with the domains of the framework of essential skills. So you can see ethics, strategies, leadership, data and privacy, data management, business management, communication systems, IT management, building and staffing, and instructional focus and PD. So he looked at, well, Scott, I'll let you say what you did. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, a funny story. I actually pulled the session list this morning, and then I was going through manually, going, I wonder what aligns with which of the essential skills. And then I realized, what am I doing? I have some great data analyst tools available to me. So I kind of just threw it all in ChatGPT and asked it to make me a really nice pie chart. And give me I started off with a count. I wanted numbers of how many were in each domain, and then percents looked a little cleaner. So yeah, based off of the title of each session, ChatGPT helped me identify which of the skills, and from just spot checking, everything looks pretty spot on to me. So this is a really close approximate alignment of how the sessions at HECC aligned with procedural skills.
Melissa, whenever the sessions are selected, do you look at what the pathways are necessarily? Do you guys try to work towards a certain balance for this? What's the HECC board's goal when looking at selecting sessions?
We strive to get a balance. So at the beginning, we start really early with planning sessions and trying to identify, first of all, from the survey of what are our attendees looking for? And then, what are the current topics? What's kind of on the horizon? And then, who can we identify that can fill some of these gaps? And I don't think we kind of dive in quite this deep as far as these topics, but we definitely do look at, making sure that we hit IT and hit data and hit leadership and instructional, and making sure that we get all of those categories in somewhat of a balance so that we're meeting everybody's needs.
Fantastic. All right, so let's focus on this first domain area, leadership and vision. So what sessions did you all attend that you felt like were supporting that leadership, vision, future planning?
I'm going to throw this one out, but this will probably be a recurring topic. Anything with AI, that's really right in front of our faces constantly, and as we're still all trying to grasp all of its abilities, the pros and cons that come out of it, and really just understand it. There's risks associated to AI, and we're still learning what all of those are. But that's an important part of leadership and vision is understanding and being future focused and planning on how is AI going to affect us in so many different ways. What are your immediate thoughts on AI as part of leadership and vision and future planning?
I agree
I
with
mean,
you 100%. So any of the sessions that you can pop in and sit in on, just to hear what people are thinking and where they're at with their AI strategy. I really think that that is all part of leadership and vision and hearing thoughts outside of your own.
I agree with that. I think it's interesting. There is an entire spectrum of where everyone is on the AI vision, whether it's policy development or just discovering readiness. Some people are already, adopting models and training teachers, and that definitely takes a partnership between not just tech, but for academics, the curriculum world. It really involves, some of the HR world and discussion more on data privacy and things like that. So we actually just put out a philosophy of AI and emergency technologies that was just pushed out to our entire district today, which I know that our chief academic officer worked on. We had building principals working on it, a stakeholder group of people in our strategic plan. So it's nice to see some of that coming together. It's not necessarily a policy, but more of a philosophy of how we're going to approach emerging technologies.
Congratulations, Kathy. That's big news. I'd be curious, and not to put you on the spot, but were you able to use any of COSM's resources to achieve that goal?
I would say we did not really, being at a private school, I feel like the content of the philosophy is very much more of a biblical worldview approach of like, how can we adopt these new technologies while still shepherding students and, guarding things that we want to guard, so to speak. So it's definitely a different vibe than maybe what you all's philosophy would probably come out to be.
With the leadership, I don't get to attend sessions because I'm on the HECC board, but when I was looking through them, there's a lot that I certainly wish I could attend, and I reached out to people to get the resources. There was one that was called Beyond the Firewall, What IT Needs to Know About Today's Classroom. And I thought anything like that, where it's taking IT and showing how important it is for everyone to be working together, like showing how that knowledge of what's going on in the classroom is important to make those informed decisions with technology and align with the district goals in all places.
I agree with that. Okay, let's move on next to the strategic planning. Strategic planning. I was just telling everyone before we logged in that I went to a session on technology and construction projects. And to me, that's majorly part of strategic planning. We have a strategic plan in place right now, and one main pillar of it is navigating space, finding property, developing a plan for the growth that we've had over the years. And we just did a small addition, and man, I'm glad that my first experience in a construction project was just a classroom addition, because I learned a lot about how I will do things differently. And being able to plan a little bit better for that, having a timeline that was provided in the session really helped me to be able to pass on to my leadership. This is, if we want to do this where we're not scrambling, this is maybe an ideal timeline of what we should be looking at. For, from going from planning to looking at renderings to, getting your bids out. It was very informative, and I actually told Melissa, like, if there was a workshop on that, this was the first time I've seen something like this type of session at HECC. And if there was a 2-hour workshop on that, I would have definitely attended the 2 hours on that. So I don't know if any of the attendees have anything to chime in on that, but it was a very informative session.
I would attend that too. I think that's a great topic to understand better and learn from others' experiences, especially so I wouldn't make the same mistakes. We've got so much construction going on here and have for so many years. I almost feel like I could contribute something to that. But I would still join to learn any cost savings, time savings, and any tips that I could. I think that's a really great idea.
And I wonder if that could be a roundtable, which is formerly a come and go session. That would be a great topic for that as well, because that's, everybody could speak to that.
I agree. I could see definitely benefits from both because you could get all of the learnings from the people who've been through it recently. Definitely worth being part of those conversations.
I think one thing that goes along with that, and there was a session on prioritizing your technology tasks so that you can get more done, not focus on the little things, but be able to plan and implement your corporation's vision. Matt Buchanan hosted that one. And while I did not attend, I think that topic is also really relevant and can fit into this as well, as you want to work through planning and learn from others on how they are strategic with their planning. I think looking at making sure that you prioritize the right things is an important discussion topic as well.
That's a great point. Okay, anybody else on strategic planning, or we'll scooch along to ethics and policies. Ethics and policies. Oof. If you're part of the TLE, maybe you had some time in sessions dealing with ethics and policies. So I don't know if the attendees are part of any of the TLE cohort where we're working on getting that trusted learning environment seal, but man, my team has been diving into the wonderful world of policies and how we need to have more of them. But I know Pete did a TLE luncheon for those people. I've been part of that. I feel like I've learned so much from the other people, whether it's from the Carmel team. I feel like they are like the people to go to. They have a full-time staff member that's really leading that process for them, and they're a model school or model district. If you have questions on any of the TLE, what that policy looks like, student data, privacy, all the goodies. But Darlene also did a session that you might want to talk about, the one you did with Jenna, because that kind of falls into this policies world as well.
Yeah, I did go to the TLE cohort luncheon. And they did talk about if you are interested in becoming part of the TLE cohort, that is open. So if any of you are unsure what that is and you want to move through and kind of jump in with policies and things like that, that's reach out to someone and see how to start working with that TLE cohort. But also, yes, Jenna Cooper and I presented the Indiana Student Data Privacy Alliance. It is a brand new alliance that just formed over the summer. And short story is 5 of our school districts, including Carmel. Carmel was the leading force in creating this alliance. 5 of Indiana school districts are using the A4L platform to manage all of their privacy agreements with third-party vendors. And in order to be able to kind of get the next tier in A4L's platform and being able to access other parties' privacy agreements, say with like Power School, and being able to get what they call an Exhibit E, we had to have a statewide alliance. So the ESC said, we'll do that. We'll take that on. So we are working through getting our alliance set up in A4L's platform, and then we'll start onboarding school districts so that you can manage, you can see other schools' agreements with third-party vendors that may be like your own or somebody that you're vetting. So if you're looking to use a new platform, let's say for or software for HR, and you're like, I'm not really sure, like sales are always going to be sales, but on the back end, what's that privacy agreement look like? It's really nice to be able to hop in there and look what those agreements look like for other schools and decide we can work with this or this might be a hot mess. We might need to steer away. So the alliance is going to be incredible work. It's going to make it super efficient for everybody to grab maybe an agreement that Carmel has and piggyback right off of theirs and not have to do all the groundwork. So it's pretty incredible. I'm excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, I really appreciate you and Jenna trying to get that put together. That's fantastic. Okay, let's hop on to instructional focus and professional development. I do want to say, if you are an attendee and you were not able to chat previously, I think I've got it all set up so that you can chat, and Jeremy's definitely monitoring that. So feel free to chime in and let us know if you have any addition you'd like to add. So. I will say I went to, this is not necessarily instructional, but professional development a little bit. I went to the Skylight, one of the Skylight sessions, and I appreciated, even though when I heard that that was the tool we were getting, I actually have a space on in my house, in my kitchen. I have had allotted to a Skylight calendar for several years and not obtained one. So I knew what I was going to do with it. But in the sessions, I appreciated that they really tried to look at it from an educational standpoint in the session. Like, how could you utilize this in your classroom? What could you see the school application of utilizing one of these tools would be? So I thought that was pretty interesting. Of course, I'm using mine for personal and selfish reasons, but I don't know if you guys all have yours set up. Maybe we can derail and talk about how fun your Skylight is.
I was not in your session, but I felt the exact same in the session that I attended, and that was one of the things that they proposed. If you have any ideas how you can use this in your classroom, let us know, because they're trying to make that happen. At the same time, from a cybersecurity perspective and even just network management, some of us IT folks aren't super excited about IoT devices or just anything on your network because it's potentially all just another risk. And I wanted to ask, but I did not. I'd be curious if that device could connect to a Radius server or enterprise Wi-Fi, the 802.1x authentication mechanisms. Some devices are unable to use that, and that makes it a little more tricky to use in the enterprise environment. But I am using mine at home. I finally got it set up just 2 nights ago, I believe. I got a nice screensaver slideshow of family images going already. It looks beautiful, and I'm excited to be a part of being able to use it.
Fantastic. What other PD sessions did you guys hear about? Did you get to attend? I'm trying to save some of my sessions for the next slide. So any other instructional focus? I know most of us here are more in the leadership area. And so maybe we didn't take advantage of as many of the instructional focused pieces.
I can talk about one. Jackie Huber from Batesville presented about coaching hits. It was like coaching hits top 5 tracks. And so she went through 5 different things like relationship building and personalized instruction. And she gave examples about how she used each one with professional learning and like showed her Bulldog hub that she did. And I thought like what I saw the resource, I didn't see the presentation, but it looked like it would have been very helpful to get these hands-on, easy to implement ideas that went right along with what we're all trying to do, the same way, different spaces.
Yeah. I actually presented for the first time this year, and I did a session that was really on developing parent technology nights and training up parents. So that's PD, that's not necessarily teacher, but really equipping families and parents with tools on how to navigate technology in your home, showing them resources that are available, websites, blogs, things to help you understand how to navigate the tech, how to put necessary protections in place, how to create healthy habits, not just screen time, but knowing that not all screen time is created equal, right? Consumption screen time is not the same thing as creative screen time. And so we do that every year at our school. It's kind of a required sixth grade parent evening. And I also did it in the public schools I was in with great feedback. And I actually feel like we got some really good feedback from that session. I think 3 or 4 different people emailed me almost immediately after the session, just asking for more information and more of the resources. And so that was kind of exciting, a different approach to technology than maybe we might have been used to seeing. So. All right, let's head on to the team building and staffing domain. There's one particular person that I always think does an outstanding job on this. Did anyone go to Adela's sessions? I did. Actually, my entire team did go to her team building session. So if you don't know Adela, she is a retired CTO, but she does a great job presenting on time management, on team building. She has a collection of job descriptions that she will share out with people. She has a collection of rubrics that you might use to do your annual reviews with. So if you're looking to find information on, better evaluation tools, if you're looking for resources on how to help build your team, Adela is the lady to talk to. And she's still active on the HECC list. You could, throw out an email. She chimes in pretty often. In fact, I thought she was registered to attend this lunch and learn, but I don't see her listed right now. But great resources, very level-headed. She continues to update on leadership learning that she still is doing to improve her sessions annually. So if you're someone who is maybe new and looking to continually improve how you're leading, if she has a session at HECC, she usually does every year. She often does sessions at our spring clinic. Those are the ones you definitely would want to hit.
I will echo that. I had a meeting this week with network administrators and a new CTO for one of the Northern Indiana school districts could not say enough about this session with Adela. He said he walked away with a ton of resources, templates, things that he could actually start using with his team where he wanted to make some changes. So I heard a lot about the session. I didn't attend myself, but I have attended plenty of Adela's sessions in the past, and she always does an outstanding job. So hopefully somebody can reach out to her and make sure she does this same or similar session at the Indiana CTO clinic.
I think I know a lady we could talk to about that. So, all right. I know it's 11:36 my time, so we got to scooch.
Oh boy, okay.
Information technology. Scott, what do you have for information technology?
Oh, I was still on team building. I had a good one. There was a session. Every school needs a student tech team. I did not attend that, and I was going to ask if anyone had. So I feel that's a great, maybe sometimes untapped resource for additional hands-on. It's really a win-win for the district and for the students because it's a learning opportunity for them. If you're getting some extra set of hands to get some work done, I would have been really interested in hearing everything they proposed about starting that team and managing it going forward. Did you want to have an opportunity to go to that one?
I did not attend that session, but I have a colleague who's the tech director in Henderson County in Kentucky who did used to have a student tech team that did all their device repairs. So they trained them, they got them certified to be HP warranty providers, and those students did all their device repairs. So if anyone who's listening is interested, I could also give you that as a secondary resource outside of the session that Scott mentioned. I don't think my colleague's organization does it anymore. I think COVID was the breaker of student repair in that organization. But
moving on to information technology management. I mean, that's really a focus on anything that's enterprise level IT, so networks, hardware, software, cloud services. And there were ample sessions that will fall into this category at HECC this year. Tons and tons of great vendor sessions for their products that relate to your network, wireless, and so much more. And then on top of that, there were a lot of sessions that were not vendor hosted that aligned directly with this. And there's so many of them, like, oh boy, which one do I want to talk about? I don't even know which one to pick out. I mean, all the Cisco's and the HPE, all great sessions. I wasn't able to attend all of them, obviously, because there's so many. But I hit a few here and there, so I might just attend for half the session and then try to hit half of another one. I'm very appreciative for everyone's time and all the information they share. But sometimes it is a lot, and you take away what the most important pieces that you can. And is that kind of how you guys tackle these as well?
I don't know if Jeremy wants to chime in. Sometimes I steer away from those sessions because I get overwhelmed and I know I have my systems in place and I want to kind of keep going down the road of those established systems until we're ready to really dive into something new. And then when I know it's ready for us to reevaluate things, that's when I start tackling those sessions. When I know I'm on the hunt for something, then that's the time I hit up some of those more vendor type sessions who are telling us what they have available and how it could be something that's useful in my organization. So
yeah, one of those things that was useful for me and mine is our Microsoft MDM product is about end of life, so we're looking for an alternative. And someone had hosting an Intune session that I found really valuable to help with future planning and just kind of wrap my head around what to expect and kind of what it looks like a little closer in more detail.
We're the same, Cassie, with some of our products. We things that we really like, we tend to do longer term licensing contracts for. But there was one session I did not attend. I was at the CTO booth during this session, but from VMware to Victory, streamlining the switch. VMware has changed their licensing costs, and a lot of people are moving away from that. And I think having sessions like that show you what some options are to kind of help a tech director figure out where do I even start with looking for things, whether it's scale computing or somewhere else. I've talked to the guys. It was Network Solutions that put that one on, and we've worked with them this past year on our VMware products. But they did a great job talking to us and talking us through it. And I think other people that had gone to that session came out talking about how valuable that was.
Fantastic. Okay, communication systems. I don't know if anyone hit up communication systems. I don't really think that, I don't recall even seeing one. I recently just put in a new intercom paging system. So if you're interested in that, shoot me a separate email and I can go over kind of what the products were we reviewed and what we ended up going with. But I'm gonna hop on. Let me hop down because we're running out of time. And I think I'm going to scooch down to data privacy and security because Scott, we were talking before we got on about how you were very active in the data privacy and security realm of sessions. So my team attended your cybersecurity session with Eric. We had tons of great feedback. And Darlene, why don't you share kind of what your feedback was as well on some of those cybersecurity sessions?
Sure.
Yeah. I'll go first. That way I can be short to save room for Darlene.
Oh, stop.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I love the sessions that I presented in this year. I presented in Hacking Your District before someone else does. And that was a really presentation on knowing what's out there available to the public, how it gets there and what you can do about it, basically for free, and simple exact messages to either prompt Google. I mean, you can see Google's web search with advanced operators and find some pretty amazing things that are out there, just for anybody that knows how to find them. And then we looked at some ways that can be automated, and just what are all the dangers, and it's really exciting. And I will share my presentations on our cybersecurity task force website. I was hoping to have that done before today, but I have not yet. But I would advise anybody who's hearing this now to go grab that slideshow and take a few minutes, look through it, play with it. You'd be surprised what you can learn out there. I was thinking about applying that to ethics, because that's something that we covered in great detail. Because anytime you're attempting to any sort of penetration testing, or you're just digging around, ethics can certainly come into question. You want to make sure that you're on the up and up and following all of the laws and regulations that are applied to that. Additionally, also presented on humans are the new attack surface. Our focus there is really, again, back to AI and how AI is changing cybersecurity, especially how it relates to social engineering attacks. It's significantly easier to clone voices, to clone videos live with someone's voice. And it's just getting really easy for the bad guys to trick the good guys. So to help and make everyone aware that it's out there, it's here now, and here are some things you can do to help protect yourself. Data privacy, especially back to open source intelligence. That data gets out there. If you have student information on a spreadsheet somehow that's available publicly on Google, you have data privacy issues right away, and you'll want to get those removed with a quickness. And that's something we discussed in the presentations that I was a part of. But we had a lot of fun. We used some of the new AI tools to see what could the bad guys do, and just trying to create a fun atmosphere to play and learn if you enjoy cybersecurity and all of the challenges that come with it. And then Darlene, I'll throw it back to you.
Well, first of all, Scott, the session I was going to mention was your session, because we had a 20-minute conversation probably just on your session with what'd you say it was? Humans are the new attack surface.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that was a session that brought up a lot of discussion in our network administrators meeting, just chatting about all the things that you guys were able to discuss and bring to the table, and that it was really, really good. So that was a really great one. Good job on that. I wasn't in it, but I look forward. I hope that you do it again because I will come to it for sure. Um, so thank you for that one. The other one I will say that I heard feedback on was Shatrice came in from CISA,
Mm-hmm.
but she's not with CISA anymore. Is that right?
That's
That's right.
correct.
She's working kind of for a law firm, I believe now, kind of
Yeah.
as a cybersecurity advisor.
Yeah. So she came back and she did that board game session again.
Mm-hmm.
And again, there were people that did it before that intentionally went back to do it again and took more of their teammates to go do that again. Um, there is some like discussion of how do we get these board games in our hand? And because it's so powerful and they want to do tabletops with their own teams. Bill Rader said yeah, I see that, Bill. Yeah, your team did it as well. So actually, I I don't want to put this out there, but I am trying to get a hold of her because I have a company that makes games and I'm going to see if we can push them together to do a special edition of getting this game out there somehow. Um,
Yeah, I
yeah,
think whenever she did it at the clinic, I participated
yeah,
last spring at our clinic, and she said that it was out of production currently. Not that it maybe couldn't come back, which
yeah,
I just put in the chat. So that would be super cool, Darlene, if we could get a special maybe council edition or
yeah.
something
So
put together.
this is what I love about the HECC conference. I'm gonna squirrel here for 2 seconds only, but what I love about the HECC conference is hitting the right connections, right? Talking to networks, growing your network of people, and just hearing, I love this. I went to this session again, and I wish this board game was here. Well, wait a minute. I know somebody who makes games, and like making those connections. So hopefully, we're able to bring a CTO special edition. That would be cool. I would put Scott's face on it.
Well, then you'd have to
Yeah.
sell it cheap.
Yeah. I do like how it plays out. I mean, basically, if you haven't participated in the session, and maybe we can have her back for our clinic again for people, but you end up with a budget, and then there are all sorts of different priorities of different things you would want to put in place. And so you have to choose, like, this is how much I have. Do I care more about putting this in place, or do I want to put, this other protection in place? And then it's kind of like a roll of the dice, or it's really a draw of the card on what happens and how that breach or whatever was impacted. And so then it really is playing the game of guess and pray, that the things that you prioritize and put in place security wise are the things that actually kept you safe or not. So definitely very a reflective activity to kind of make you think about how we're approaching our cybersecurity and really budgeting and planning. So
I wasn't able to attend the session this year at HECC, but I had also back at the clinic, and tons of fun. So if you haven't participated and that chance comes up again, you're going to learn something. You're going to smile, and highly recommended.
yes, I will say I attended the session. It was published as Cybersecurity on the Cheap, which was kind of maybe not a super flattering title. So when we got there, the speaker had changed actually the name of the session to something he said maybe a little classier. But that session was pretty useful. I collected, he provided a lot of just open source tools that are available. And I kind of collected those all up and passed those on to my lead IT person to kind of say, like, what of these can we evaluate and see if we would want to utilize for you know, some additional protections in place that aren't going to cost us a ton of money. I do feel like it's weird using open source tools for cybersecurity. Don't you feel like that's odd? Like that seems almost dangerous to me, but
I think there could be a piece to it that's certainly useful and okay. It just depends on what that piece is, I think.
yes. So,
Kathy, I want to jump in on one. It's not, I don't know where this one fits. And I'll be brief, but I attended Technology in the Law, which was put on by Julie Slavens, who is with the Indiana School Boards Association. Julie also did a lunch and learn last spring with us, and I
yes.
think it was very valuable and powerful. Every time I've heard her speak, I gain lots of knowledge. This one was on privacy in terms of students' information privacy, a teacher's right to know regarding a student. Um, should they have access to the student records? Well, only if they have a right to know. And also, she focused on things like video. At what point does, our camera systems, if we use video for a discipline situation, at what point does that become a school record and things like that? I believe she's going to be doing a session for us in our lunch and learn here in the spring again this year. And I would encourage anybody who has a chance to attend that one. I think you will find a lot of value from Julie Slavens. And she's a lawyer. She helps schools all throughout the state, making sure that they're compliant. And there's a lot of things that I hadn't thought of before that she talked about. So
I'm disappointed I missed that one. That sounds great.
it was excellent. I'm trying to get my superintendent to get her to talk to all of our principals about some of these things with, FERPA and whatnot, that just she gives pretty direct answers that really help people know if they're doing the right thing.
That I wish I would have attended that session. We have a camera in our counseling room, just really for the protection of the counselor, because when you know you're in a closed door setting with a student, that is just it doesn't record audio, but there is a camera in that space. And our we use a youth first counselor, so it's kind of a contracted out position, and they contacted us this week and said that's against their policy to have a camera in the space. And so that was intriguing to me, because I was thinking like that camera is there for the protection of the people that are involved. And of course, they're approaching it from a student privacy scenario. So I would have loved to hear what Julie's take on that would be. So
That's a
that's a
good
good
one.
share.
I think we did body cams within reach so they could easily grab it and flip it on if there's a need. That way it's not always recording. I don't know if that's the right answer, but that's an option I'll share with you that we've done here.
Interesting. So maybe something we can put on the clinic spring topic list of things. I don't know how many people would be interested in that, but definitely worth discussing.
Definitely worth it.
Final thought for me, I will share.
Okay.
I am disappointed I didn't get to attend any of the student MFA offerings, because I think there were 2 or 3 of them. And that's something I'm very interested in. Were you guys able to attend any student MFA specific sessions?
I did not attend any because I'm avoiding the topic, if I'm being honest.
I popped my head into one of them just briefly for maybe like 5 or 10 minutes. And there was a very big discussion going on about, changing state policies with student cell phones and all the things, like what is it that you can actually push out, and what's gonna change that makes whatever direction you're heading feel like now you have to go backwards.
I've seen some really great products being offered as solutions, and I'm excited to see what else will evolve out of this. And I definitely hope to find the easiest solution for this.
I mean, my
as we're gonna
solution would
need
have
it.
to be one that doesn't involve students having a personal device. Do you know what I mean? We've made so much progress in getting personal devices out of buildings. I mean, even with the Indiana legislation, the law that's passed with about devices being in classrooms, the last thing I would want to do is then turn around and say, but you need it to authenticate your login. So I don't know what you guys think about that, but I appreciate not having phones in classrooms, which we never have allowed. But I know that for some schools that and districts, that's made a huge impact on them being able to kind of get their space back. So, Melissa, what do you have as a recap as the kind of HECC representative that's been part of this? I see that you've taken notes of as we've shared like what the sessions were that we felt like we got a lot out of. So hopefully you can take that back to the board. But do you have any final thoughts?
My final thought is that I don't ever want to for anyone to forget about the roundtables, because I think that there's so many good roundtables, and the power of that is everyone's experiences. And I have sat in on them to kind of help facilitate, but often it's a topic I don't even know anything about and don't have any experience, but I end up learning so much just because of the people in the room. And I think that they can, if you're not familiar with them, it's just a group of people talking about a topic that might be all of the things that you just said. And I think that they are very, very powerful.
I would
So,
agree with that. Last year, I'm from a private school. And so sometimes I feel like when I go to sessions, it's like, this is great, but this doesn't really work in the same way for me because smaller district, smaller school kind of scenario. And in the council room last year, we had a private and small school session just to kind of bring all the little people together. And we had a great turnout. And we kind of really didn't discuss doing that this year in the CTO council space. And it was something that I found myself missing because I made a lot of connections in that. So, which could totally be met from the small or from the roundtable perspective. It wouldn't be something the council had to host. But getting my goal is I sometimes feel like I'm the lone wolf out here in the private school scenario. How can we get more independent schools involved in some of this professional development, whether it's through HECC or whether it's through the Indiana CTO Council, or whatever it is. I don't care how we do it, as long as we do it, right? We can all come together and do that. So
Right. Right. And that's the other part of it, is no matter what happens in that 45 minutes, but you walk away with connections, all of that learning and collaboration continues. And that's the most important part.
I agree. Okay, so next year's HECC, I'll let you give a little plug for that. It's a little later, right?
Yeah.
And it's like a week later, maybe?
It is. So the weather could be completely different.
Hold up. No, it is going to stay the same.
Could be
We
so much
need it to
warmer.
stay the same.
Yes. Is it the 13th and 14th? Is that the date?
Oh, I know I'm
Maybe.
on the spot. I
I feel
believe
like it
so.
might.
Something, it's that week. It's the next
Okay.
week. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, we'll make sure we have it marked on our calendars. I'm going to click on, oh, did you have something?
I was going to share, I had went to the HECC website today and noticed it's already advertising the date for next year.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
The 11th
Yeah.
through
So
the 13th.
Okay.
Quick
Hey, I was pretty
turnaround.
close. Not exactly right, but close. Okay, so here again are all of our connections. If you want to, follow the Indiana CTO Council, we hope you kind of had some good feedback from our HEC sessions we attended, how they kind of relate to those domains, to the framework. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to any of us. Make sure you've registered or signed up to be part of our Indiana CTO Council mailing list. We have a newsletter that's going out once a month. Our chair sends out a monthly chit chat of kind of what's going on in the world of tech directors. So stay in touch. Okay. Thank you to everybody for joining.
Thank you.